Actually, I thought this stage of purple and turquoise in my journals has finished and it's over for me. But then I got a really cute WhatsApp message and someone asked me, "Oh, Louise, there was someone else who has bought this turquoise and purple journal in your shop and I was too slow to buy it. So please, can you make me a journal in this color scheme?" And yeah, I would like to have turquoise and purple. Okay, so I said, yes, of course, I can do that. And so I came up with this new journal that I want to flip through with you today. Hi there, this is Louise Heinzel. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art. Nice to see you here. Yeah, today with another journal in this turquoise and purple colors. So this is a bit different, of course, than the other one that I have shown you a few days or weeks, I don't know, ago. But yeah, it was a really strange experience to make two journals in the same color scheme after each other. So the other one that I have shown you in the past, I have made, yeah, directly before I made this one. And to grab the same colors and yeah, this same idea of this, I would say, a little bit unusual color combination, and at the same time making something different, that was really challenging for me, but I think I've managed it. So this journal here is obviously a hardcover journal. I took an old book and took out the pages. Yeah, you know this process. And then I put in my new pages and the signatures. For the spine, I decided to make a hidden spine so that you can't see the threads of the binding. For this one here, I also used my 6-hole binding method, and I sew the signatures directly through the spine. So yeah, that I only had to cover this thing here to have my hidden spine. I think that method to sew the signatures directly into the spine is really sturdy, and I wanted to have this whole journal really sturdy and really, yeah, handy, I would say. I mean, I wanted to have this, that the new owner can take this away in a bag, for example. And so I decided that I Mod Podge this fabric that I have glued to the cover. So what you can see here, now it doesn't look like fabric anymore, I know that, but it is fabric, believe me. So I found that on an online flea market here in my area, and this on the picture in this yeah, announcement, it was really vintage, but when it came to me, it was the most popping and, yeah, really extreme colors that you can imagine. So I decided that I will go over this with some Distress Oxide vintage photo, this one here. And I did that not only here on this edges, but I also went over the whole fabric with a brush like this, really lightly, of course, and really carefully. And then I spritzed water to get this oxide effect out of this ink, so that this looks a little bit more vintage than it was before. And I also this time have glued this little fibers, I don't know if you can see that, that come out of this piece from the spine. I glued them here with Mod Podge as well, so you can feel that they are here, but they are not peeking out here too much, so that you really can, yeah, put this into a bag, take it to a travel or that stuff, so that it don't gets destroyed or these fibers are in the way. Then I added this little embellishments here, these little metal things. They are not real book corners, as you can see. It's only, yeah, some kind of yeah, decoration, or how can I say that? And I did the same thing here on the front side in every corner here. And then I decided that I want to add this little bit bigger flower. So if you remember the other journal that I have shown you in these colors, I only had this kind of more smaller flower on the cover, but the dimensions of this other journal were totally different. It was more like, yes, nearly some kind of a square. And this customer asked me if I can add this flower here like I did on the other journal. And when I had this in my hands, I was totally sure that it's not possible to attach such a flower to such a long journal. I mean, yeah, that was really, really strange. But then I found this fabric flower. It was originally in some kind of a turquoise color, and I thought, okay, normally I would use those to make some photos for Instagram, for example, and I have this fabric flowers in, yeah, some different colors to take my photos, and I decided to take this apart, because here in these areas below these petals there were some kind of baskets, little baskets made out of plastic, so that the flower gets this shape. And it was originally not such flat, so I removed, don't do that, because it was I think it took me hours to make this such flat, because I removed all those tiny baskets here, these plastic things, to make this lay a little bit more flat. And then I realized that, yeah, somewhere, I think in China or wherever this is produced, they used a hot glue to attach those plastic things in between of the leaves. I mean, in between of these petals. And on some of the petals, there was some hot glue that was, for some reason, a really, really, yeah, I would say neon green, belonging to this color that the petals have. I think this has colored itself over the time. I don't know why. And so I decided to cover those areas up with some book pages. And now when you look at it, I think it looks like I planned it. Excuse me. But originally this was were the areas where this really ugly and shitty hot glue was. And I think now, yeah, when you look closer, you have something to discover here. And I think that was a really great idea that I had to cover this up. Then I took some Distress Oxide inks, and I used not only for the flower but also for the other areas where I use Distress Oxide in this journal. I used this both colors if you are interested in that. It's peacock feathers and this seedless preserves. So this is my color combination for the things that I made with Oxide inks. And I used this both ink pads here and opened it up, of course, and I went over this flower like so with the purple and with the turquoise so that it gets colored in some areas. Then I spritzed water, waited a little bit, and then I dried it. If you want to dry such flowers, please be careful with your heat gun, because if you put your heat gun too close and too long to one place, it can be that this material will melt. Sorry. So please don't burn your fingers and don't burn your flowers, and especially don't melt your flowers when you want to do such things. And then when this was dry, I spritzed some golden splatters here to some areas, and I think that turned out really, really cool. It looks, really used, really watercolory, I think, and I really like this effect. So I think I will definitely use some more of those flowers in my future journals. I think it's really a focal point and really outstanding. So yeah, perhaps you can leave a comment if you see that the same. And then I took this flower that this customer wants to have on the journal. I have poken a hole. So I mean, this thing here was not on the flower actually. I have poken a hole into this thing. This is some kind of paper thing. And then I attached this purple flower to this one here with this little clips. And after that, I covered the top of the clip with this metal element here. So this is some kind of a metal flower. I added some golden watercolor here to this as well to make it match this gold on the petals here. And the leaves here of the flower were also really green and really extreme. So I added some Distress Oxide vintage photo. You can see that here on the outside of the petals. That came out really well. And then I stamped this stamp here, as you can see, so that it's more journal typical thing. You know what I mean. And I also added these little white things here. First of all, I thought if that is perhaps a little bit too much, but then I thought I really want to have something that is outstanding. I mean, outstanding in its meaning. I don't know how to say that in English, but I don't want it to have only a flower on this journal, but I wanted to have it pop out really extremely, so that you have something that you have never seen before. So that was the plan. So I decided that I can add these white things here so that they peek out only a little bit here on the bottom of this flower. And yeah, so as you can see, this journal cover is obviously a little bit too small for my DIN A5 pages. So this is DIN A5, approximately DIN A5. And this is another time that this is too small. And I used my method to enlarge this cover a little bit. So on this first signature and on the last signature, there's this piece of scrapbooking paper that I have folded and sewn together. I have shown you that in another journal, and I will also make a tutorial about how to do that. I have experienced some things while I made this here, because with the other journal I did it the first time. That was the second time I did this, and I figured out some things that you have to consider if you want to make such a thing and if you want to enlarge your cover. So there will be a really detailed tutorial in the near future. I can't tell you exactly when, but it will come, and I will show you how to make this so that you have this here and this sturdy material that protects all the pages that are in between, so that you have the possibility to take this journal away without destroying the pages here. And yeah, this is like so. I think you got it. And this is also a really cool thing because I think you can play with the colors a little bit better, because now here this purple is peeking out and it's part of the cover, but when you do it like so, it can stand for itself. And with this flower here, it's a piece for itself, and when you close it, it's part of the cover. I think that's a little bit some kind of Heinzel magic. Okay, so it starts relatively neutral, as you can see, because I would like to have the new owner to be the most creative in this journal. The person who has ordered this from me is a crafter, a paper crafter as well. She has started making her own junk journals a few months ago, and I would like to encourage her with this journal to go on with junk journaling. So yeah, perhaps that makes sense. This is journal number 64 that I've made in my life. And in this point of the video, I would like to say a very big thank you to all of you who have commented below my other video, where I have asked you if I can start numbering my journals with the starting point of 63, because when I realized that I like this numbering here and this numbers in the journals, I already was at my 63rd journal, and you all said do that and start with 63 and then go on. So thank you very much for your feedback, and that made me, of course, doing this here. And now we have this here. Okay, so that was really kind. So I'm always really appreciating your reactions and your comments and what you your feedback about my questions and of course your feedback about that, what I'm doing here. It's really, really helpful to hear that and to work with that. So, I mean, I'm not only reading your comments, of course, I'm appreciating them, but then after I did that, I'm working with them and I try to figure out things, of course, that you could be interested in and that I can turn into content for you and into something helpful for your own junk journaling process. For this pages, everything that you can see that is in this purple color and everything that you can see in this turquoise color, I used some Easter egg dies. I have a video how I did that on my channel as well. I will link that below in the description box. So if you missed that, you can check that out. So everything of this pages here is hand dyed. And I used many flowers and butterflies in this journal. So this is the same flower like on the cover, so I mean like this thing here in the inside, and as you can see that looks really, really different because I took it apart a little bit. I took some of the petals out from the top, then pressed it a little bit to make this little embellishment here. And while I pressed it, there were 2 of the leaves that, or I think there were 3 or 4 that yeah, you see, they wanted to be here and not here. So I decided that I want to make this little cluster thing here by adding this lace. So this covers this little accident here. And yeah, I think that looks really, really interesting. And just yesterday, I decided to stamp over this petals here a little bit. That was, to be honest, during I have recorded the German version of this video. When I was working in this journal and I saw those flowers here, I was always wondering what's missing there. I mean, this stamping was not there. And I thought, okay, something is missing, but I couldn't realize what it was. And while I have recorded the German version yesterday, I suddenly experienced that I want to have some stamping. So you will see that stamping during this journal in a few places. And what you also will see is these things here on the middle of the spine. In one of my last videos, I had shown you some fabric pieces that I have sewn here to the middle of the spine, while I have sewn in the signatures to the book. And I think that was weird grammar, sorry. You know what I mean. So I decided that I could perhaps not only attach some pieces of fabric to this binding thread, but I could perhaps add some other things like this book pages or this butterfly here. So I just took these pieces while I had my binding process, and then I decided, yeah, spontaneous, what I want to have here, and just sew it into this thing here while I went with the thread through the signature. Here's some snippet roll pieces. So these are all made out of the leftovers from the pages. When I teared something, then I collected these little pieces and then I made the snippet roll. And in this journal, you can also, excuse me please, you can also see really much art, I would say. So I used this artsy looking papers, and I used also some pictures out of some art books. I actually can't remember how this artist is called. Shame on me, I don't know. I think I just forgot it, but yeah, I used some of these little bit whimsical, I would say, pictures here, and I think that fits the color scheme really, really well, and it goes really well with this turquoise and the purple. Here we have, of course, some spots where she can put some tags in or some journaling cards or that stuff. I tried to, yeah, as I said, leave also some pages really, really blank so that she can take what is already here to get some new inspiration and, yeah, make her own things. And also the pockets and the belly bands that are in here are nearly empty. So I wanted to have much space so that she can add her own things. And I don't know how she wants to use this journal. So if she perhaps wants to go to a travel and take this with her and make a travel journal out of this, then of course she will need some space to put her own things like postcards or bills or whatever into here. And this time I also used some really junky papers. So I mean, this page here, when it came to my eyes, I thought, okay, you have to use it for this, for exactly this journal. I think these colors are really amazing, and this picture, I think it's so, yeah, you want to jump into this page and be on this table with this how is that called? Plums. I think it's plums. Don't know. If you have to laugh now, I've reached my goal, but I think these are called plums in English. Yeah, and this is actually from a catalog from a brand that sells those freezed food. And you can see here some herbals that they have in their catalog, and I have left this here so that you can see that it is out of this catalog. Of course, she can decide if she wants it like so, or if she wants to glue something over here and write something, or if she only wants to write here in between of these herbal things here, of these pictures. But this time I wanted to have this, yeah, really junky and really made out of materials that you can find around you. I had many comments from you that you want to see also some journaling ideas made out of real junk. So this journal has no printable in it. Everything that you can see in this journal is made out of, yeah, materials that are not printed out. And yeah, I wanted to show you that this is also possible, even if I'm selling digital printables. But of course it's possible to make a journal even if you don't have a printer, or if you can't use printables for some reason. So I used really, yeah, materials that you can nearly find everywhere. So these are, for example, some atlas pages. This originally was some kind of a bag where I bought some ephemera, or was it from a Happy Mail? I'm not sure, but this was made by another junk journaler that I know from Germany, and I reused this to make these pockets here. So yeah, I mean, all these scraps and all the stamps that you can see here, you can find in your home, I think. So what I want to say is that you of course can make journals without having digital paper, without having expensive stuff. You don't need these expensive ink pads. You can also use cheaper materials to color your pages. For example, you can use this Easter egg dyeing method that I have shown you. You could also use some watercolors to color your pages, or even those little scraps here. I colored these with the Distress Oxide inks, but you can use also watercolor for this, or you can also use these water-soluble crayons, for example, to make this effect, of course. And that was also a point that I wanted to bring out with this video, that you don't necessarily need expensive materials to make your journals. And even if you won't have this lace here, for example, this would be a journal. So I mean, this makes it only a little bit more, interesting, perhaps a little bit more, yeah, you have this touchy effect here. You can touch it and you can feel this thing of the lace, but you won't need it to make a beautiful journal. So that's what I want to say. And here we come to the most amazing page of this journal. I know it's not very spectacular when you look at this, but this was such a great experience for me, because this here is my favorite paper that came out of this Easter egg dyeing process. These little spots here that you can see here were so amazing for me. I don't know, that was so much inspiration for me that I thought I would like to have something in this special color. I mean, this is something between purple and gray and brown. I don't know. This is really, really hard to see in the camera, but this color was so fascinating for me that I tried to find something for this page here that makes these little dots come out a little bit more, so that you realize them more. So I decided that I need something in this color to make this possible, this effect. And then I found this page here with these leaves from this really interesting plant, and this color here inside is nearly 99% this color that you can see here. And I think this 1% that it's not the same is only because this thing here is a glossy page and this is matte. So yeah, this is, for me, it's so fascinating, and I hope you can see that the same. And to make this effect a little bit more intensive, I've added this thing here. I will show you in a second what this is, so that this color that's nearly the same like this and this brings this whole effect out a little bit more. Yeah, please write a comment what you think about that. And when I had this page, I was so happy, and I made this little happy dance here in my caravan. But when I flipped it, I realized that this really, really pinkish flower is here on the back side. I love this flower like it is, but when I included this page to the signature, I was really not sure if I can do that in combination. Here it's okay, but in combination with this thing here that I need for this to be seen here. And I thought, okay, that looks really, really strange. And then I came to the idea to add this thing here, because this is nearly the same color like the flowers. So, I mean, it's not totally the same. Here are these shades of this pink, of course, but it goes really well with this color. And I think that breaks it up a little bit on this double page. Yeah, so hopefully you can see that. And this thing here, you can take it out. I have several of these things here in this journal. This is, yeah, some kind of notepad. I took some of the same pages that I have in the journal as well and made this. So this has 4 pages each, and this front thing here. And this is actually, how is that called? This color samples that you get when you want to paint your wall. And these are really, really great to make these little notebooks, because this is a really sturdy material. It has this advertisement of the brand on the back side, of course, but yeah, who knows? It's a junk journal, and of course you can also use those materials to include them into your journal. Where is this going? Sorry, I want to have 2 pages here and the 3 pages on the back side to make it the same thickness on both sides here. And please excuse those noises. I think there's a helicopter going around here. I hope this is not too loud. I'm a little bit confused at the moment. Yeah, what I wanted to say, what I wanted to say is that you, of course, can find such materials around you when you for example, go to a store where they sell this wall paints, then you can get these things for free. Of course, you can't take the whole color palette that they have there, but you can take some and go back the next day, you know, take some more, come back in a week and take some more, and then you have the whole color palette after a few months. So yeah, those materials that you can get for free, I think, yeah, you have to handle that with respect. I mean, you can't go into a shop and take everything, because it's not meant to make a junk journal out of it. But I think if you handle that with respect, you can take some of them and put them into your journal. I think that's okay. I also tried this time to include some glossy pages from some botanical books, as you can see here. And here, as you can see, this is really... this can hold really much. So I tried to glue this with this little waves so that it looks a little bit more used, a little bit, yeah, I can't say destroyed, because it's not destroyed, but you know what I mean. When I go over this, and with the time when she is using this journal, this will get a little bit, some kind of distressed. And I wanted to have this pocket really big, so that she can put some bigger things inside here. For example, a staple of postcards or whatever. Here's this flower thing as well. And here I added this little... I knew the word a few seconds ago. It's such a wonderful word in English, and now I have forgot it. And I know when I stop the camera, it comes to my mind, and I will... No, I don't know it. I don't know it. Sorry. But the person who will get this journal has her nickname on Instagram and YouTube in Italian. So this thing is Coccinella in Italian, and she has this name on her channel, and everyone who gets in contact with her has this, yeah, this picture of this little thing here in his mind. So when you think about her, you think about this little, is it ladybug? Lady, it's something with lady, I know that. Ah, oh, Louise. Let's talk about this puzzle pieces here. That's perhaps a little bit easier. So I took some ordinary puzzle pieces to make these things here. I think that's a really great thing to embellish your journals. So let me just explain how I did that. So I took these normal pieces from a puzzle. And as you perhaps know, they have this glossy side, so where the picture that you want to have in the end is printed on. This is really glossy, and the back side is like so in the most cases, hopefully in your area as well. And first of all, I thought it would be nice to have this rounded edges here, because yeah, it's the same way like with this die cuts, you know, there's a right side of the die cut and a wrong side, and the right side has this rounded edges like the puzzle pieces have as well. But then I thought when I put Distress Oxide to this glossy surface here, that will not stay forever there. So I decided to make it this way and use this more paper like side here of the puzzle pieces, sorry. And then I took my Distress Oxide ink pads, just opened them up, so I will not do that now, but yeah, you can see it here as well. I put that directly to the stamp, to the ink pad, and then I made this, and the back side, of course, was colored then. I took the turquoise and the purple, made several of those pieces, and then I spritzed some water, realized that the color is a little bit too extreme, because these pages here are also all a little bit vintage, even if the colors that I've used with this Easter egg dye were really, really bright. But that was, I think, too much in the beginning. So I used some coffee instead of the water and spritzed the coffee to this Distress Oxide. This oxide effect, of course, you can get also with coffee, not only with water. Then I dried them and stamped over them a little bit so that I have this result. Hopefully that's, yeah, some kind of an idea for you as well. If you want to have some embellishments and you don't want to buy some die cuts or some expensive things. So I think puzzle pieces you can get nearly everywhere, and even if you would buy a new puzzle, if you don't have a puzzle at your home, then you can get a whole box of pieces, and I think that would last really, really long. And you can, of course, put them together, or you can make some patterns out of them, or even a whole frame around the page, or whatever you want. I think that these things here are really versatile, and the good thing is that they have this paper backside so that you can color them, for example, with inks or watercolors or acrylic paints, or you can also decoupage your napkins to those things. I think that's really a versatile thing. Yeah, so here we have some more. Here you can also see, yeah, when the purple meets the turquoise. And that's also a point. I tried to let those both colors meet each other directly in the most possible ways. So I mean, wherever it was possible, I tried to let those both colors, turquoise and purple, meet each other. For example, here, I mean, directly, without connecting them with other colors. So here, the turquoise is in the background, the purple is directly to the turquoise here, then the purple is here, the turquoise comes here, and also here on this little thing there's some turquoise that's directly on the purple. So here's no color that can connect this both in a way. So I mean, they come together really, really directly, and I tried that, and I think so also here and here. And I think there are not so many color combinations where that is possible. But also here on this paper, the purple and the turquoise are directly next to each other without any connection. I mean, some kind of beige or brown or that stuff would connect them. For example, here, this, yeah, some kind of vintage brownish color here is some kind of connection for me between this really dark, no, not dark, but intensive turquoise area and this purple. I mean, there is a connection, but they also come together really, really in a strong way. I don't know how to explain that, but here you can see it perhaps. I used this turquoise thing again on the purple, then this purple eyelash trim and the turquoise puzzle piece on top. And I think that's really, really extreme. And I only try to balance that out a little bit by adding this book page. But I think if this book page would not be here, it would also look great. I don't know why, but yeah, also with those extreme shades of purple. I mean, pink is also a shade of purple, or how can I say that? It fits together, but it's really extreme. And I think this turquoise and purple thing is one of the special color combinations that is really, yeah, it works, but you don't know why it works. So perhaps I can say it like that. So here I made this little thing as well in the middle of this signature. And I realized that this, yeah, it will need a time to, yeah, when the new owner gets this journal, it will take a time that she flips through this journal and opens this page several times to make this a little bit more flexible. This butterfly here is some kind of a heavier paper, and it takes a time that this fold is really flexible. So in the beginning it will be necessary that you press it a little bit so that you can see it, but later on this will be, I think, really flexible and handleable. So here I took a book page, added some vellum paper that I have colored with the Distress Oxides. Here a tinier version of this paper flowers. You can also, if you're patient, you can also turn it around like this if you want. And this butterfly in the middle. So I wanted this little bit, it looks like this butterfly is flying, but not in the air, but in the ocean. I wanted to have this contrast. That's also the reason why all these charms are some kind of beach themed. So I have these shells and these little, how is that called? These stars that are laying on the beach, you know. I don't know the word, sorry. But for me, these colors are really, really, I can get really much inspiration from those colors. If these, even if those colors are not totally mine, I would not make journals for myself in this color combination. And of course that's a little bit challenging if you want to make a journal, a nice journal that you also like yourself, for another person. And then it's, I think, really hard to decide what to use. I wanted to have some botanical book pages in here as well, because I know that she loves those pages also. And I have some flowers that come here from my area. So these flowers you can find here, and she's also here from my area. So she's a few kilometers away from here, but she's in the same area like I am. And I wanted to have something, you know, do you know what I mean? So I had to handle these inspiration that I got from this color combination that's not my color combination. And first of all, I thought about butterflies. That's the reason why they are here. But while I was working here and I used some different mediums, so this, for example, is made with Brusho colors and some really light coffee. I put this watercolor powder here and then spritzed some coffee. And then I got this beach feeling. Do you know what I mean? You work on something and then suddenly something comes to your mind that was totally not the plan. I mean, this florals and the butterflies and also those little puzzle pieces have nothing to do with this beach theme, but I couldn't resist. I had to put some of these beachy things in here. But perhaps that's also a thing that she can appreciate, because now she has a really big palette of possibilities what she can do with this journal. So I mean, if I would put only butterflies here, butterflies everywhere, and perhaps some flowers, then it's a butterfly journal. If I would put only shells and these little things and perhaps some fishes or some mermaids or that stuff, then it's an ocean journal, and yeah, she has to stay with that theme. But I wanted to have something that is really open and that she can use like she wants it and like it comes to her mind. Hopefully that makes sense. And this is a page I'm also really, really proud of, because let me try to explain that. So you said, so I mean, you said it, you didn't say it, but you wrote it to the comments that you appreciate when I talk about the process, how, for example, such a double page came to life, that you appreciate my explanations about how I put the colors together. So I will try to explain another example with this page here. I had this page here from this Easter egg dyeing process, and as you can see, this page is much lighter than the other pages. This is really intensive, and also the back side of this page here is really, yeah, typically turquoise, and not this, yeah, maybe turquoise or maybe not. It's turquoise. And here, this page has this really cool mix out of this lighter turquoise and the purple. Some of these areas here are nearly blank, and I thought this page looks really, really cool in combination with the others. I wanted to have this page here because this background looks so interesting. Yeah, and then I thought, okay, first of all, I thought I would like to add the elements that I have on the other pages. So I took, or on some of the other pages, I took this pink thing and sewed it here. Took this petal of this flower, that's the same like you've seen here. That's one of these petals here that are, yeah, came off from this flower. And I also added this part of this snippet roll because I had that on the pages before. And then the problem began, because then this page, I just put this here for demonstration. This page was something like this. And I thought, okay, what do I have to put to this page to make this work with this pastel colors, with this really light colors? And then first I found this thing here that originally was some kind of a greeting card, and I thought, okay, this frame here is turquoise as well. It's not that intensive turquoise, so it would perhaps go well with this. I know that this is not the same color like this, but this is light as well. And these intensive flowers here in the middle now match this frame of the stamp and this thing there. So we have a triangle of these intensive purple colors here on this lighter background. And then I thought, okay, if I would put a neutral page here, that perhaps would make sense. It would look harmonious, but it would look also really boring. Then I found this thing, so this page here, so let me show you that in total. It looks like this. And I thought, okay, these feathers here would fit really well to this light background. I mean, light, yeah? Feathers are light as well as this background is. This pink would fit really well to this thing here, and also to the things, these little page tabs here that are peeking out here on the bottom. That would fit also really well. It would be no problem. I added this darker thread here so that I get some of the darker purples from this flower here. And this is also not really black, it's also really dark purple, so that this would make more sense to me than it was before. Then I thought, okay, a neutral page perhaps here for the background. But then I thought, I don't have any coffee dyed paper in this journal. I used all these colorful pages, and I can't put a coffee dyed page into here. So then I came to the idea to use this picture here of this woman. She's holding this little fluffy cat here, and I decided to use this picture to break this up a little bit. And here we have this purple that is also here, so that we have more of this lighter purple from here on this side of the page. Hopefully that makes sense. And I also wanted to confuse the eye of the person who looks at this a little bit by letting this cat peeking out here, and at the same time having this really strange looking flowers. I mean, that are not some kind of ordinary flowers. I have never seen those flowers in reality. So yeah, and this white flowers here, the cat is also white. Here's some white, and here's some white, and also here in the background we have this white. It flows a little bit like so. So that was my idea behind this page. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit strange. And of course, when we have this much pink here and this much purple colors, we need some back to the roots. I mean, some back to purple. When we flip this, we think, okay, are we now in this purple, in this pink area? No, we are not pink. We are purple here, and we have purple here, and a really dark purple in her dress as well. Hopefully that makes sense. And to get not totally lost of this pink, the pink is here. Hope that makes sense. Here in the middle I have also this little, yeah, scrappy thing here that I've sewn with this thread here. In this case I made that to break this yeah, really straight edge of this pocket here a little bit. So I mean, this is a pocket, you can put something in here, but this is really straight, and when you have this like so, then it's yeah, a little bit more scrappy and more, you know. If she wants, of course, she can glue this down. You can still use the pocket here, but then this would be more like a collage or something like that. Or she could, of course, also she can also, sorry, I just had to think about it, use some glue and make a line of glue here and glue this down like so. Glue these both pieces together and here as well, and then she can have a pocket here or some kind of a tuck spot. But of course that's up to her how she wants to make that and how she wants to use that journal. So here's another belly band, and in this journal I also used up some of my scrapbooking papers. I mean, this is a really, yeah, thicker paper. It's some kind of scrapbooking paper from this 30 by 30 centimeter excuse me please, paper pads. And usually I don't like to use those thicker materials in my journals, but this time I did it and I'm really happy with it. So this here is also some kind of a, yeah, heavier material. It comes from a smaller paper pad, but it has this, yeah, it's a little bit thicker, like scrapbooking paper. And I thought perhaps she would like to add some photos as well, and or some cards perhaps. So she's also a card maker. And for that I have chosen to include some of those thicker papers, because when you want to glue down a card to a journal, it's perhaps not such a good idea to have such fluffy paper like these original vintage papers. The page gets really strange. I mean, let me demonstrate it perhaps here. If you would glue a card that's really heavy and you would like to flip the page, then it can happen that the page here where the card is ending, for example, so I mean, for example, this is the card and the page is really thin, then it can go like so while you are flipping it. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's not so nice. And so I left some of those here. This is some of those greeting card paper as well. I left the back side white so that she can decide if she wants perhaps to add some of her own card creations here. And for that you need some really sturdy paper, I think. Yeah, so and here that's also some kind of a personal highlight for me, because I managed to use this really pink ribbon here, and I sewed it to this purple paper. It was some kind of a strange experience. I thought, okay, in the next minutes someone will find me laying next to my sewing machine, not so very alive. And I thought, whew, really, really strange. But now I'm totally in love with it. I don't know why, but the longer I look at this combination, the more I love it. Please leave a comment what you think about this. I'm so in love with this combination, I can't tell you. And why am I talking about this thing so long? I would like to encourage you to try that. Before she has ordered this journal, I would have never come to the idea to combine those both colors. But when you get new challenges for yourself and you get new color combinations, new materials, new, you know what I mean, then try it. Please just try it, and you will see that it will in some way work for you. And it's no matter what it is. I mean, I hate pink. I totally hate pink. Even some people ask me that, even if my tattoo has this pink, but that's another pink. The reason why here's pink is a totally different reason why I hate pink. So I mean, there are shades of pink as well, but I hate pink, and I used it here so much that is unbelievable for me. I mean, I couldn't believe that until I did it. And so please, please, please just do it. And also try to include some things that you normally wouldn't include into your journals. I've never used puzzle pieces in this way. I've used puzzle pieces in my journals, but not in this way. Try it out. And if you think, okay, let me just cover up the butterfly. If you just think, okay, my page here looks a little bit boring, it's a little bit, yeah, some kind of matchy in some way, then think about perhaps the most the color that has the most amount here on this page. I don't know how to say that. So here's really much purple. And then think about the opposite of it, or think about the complementary color of that. Use some yellow here, this butterfly, so that's no accident. I did it here, I planned it to put it here. Use some of this other color of your color combination. I mean, you know, purple, turquoise, and the complementary thing to the purple here, and it will be some kind of a focal point for this middle of the signature. So, sounds a little bit arrogant, but the only thing that I want to say is do it. Please do it. There are so many people who are writing comments below my videos. So you write, yeah, I have searched for some materials. I have a little stash now, and I have collected some papers, and I'm really proud that I found some papers. I also spent some money on buying some stamps or some Oxide inks or whatever, and then you stop. But why? So I know this is some kind of ironical sentence, you know, but I just want to encourage you to start. And there are so many people, so this is a personal thing. I don't want to show you that, but I can show you how I made it. So the back side is a personal thing. But please just start. And if you don't start by making a whole journal, that's not the point. So many people are writing, oh, I can't make a journal. I don't have the time. I don't have the materials. Or when I have the materials, I don't know how to start. It's not the point how to start. It's the point to start. I mean, just sit down and color some fabrics. Use some shopping bag material. For example, this fabric here comes from a shopping bag. I just teared it. So when you come from your next shopping trip, just take your fabric shopping bag, tear it, splatter some coffee or what you have, or even some paint or whatever, or throw it into your garden, come back, and when it's dirty enough, then stamp to it, or even write with your handwriting to it, and you have a piece that you can use for a project. You have something in your hands that you have made by yourself. And I think that's the point. If you think this is totally ugly, I don't like that, I hate this color combinations because I'm a vintage girl and I hate colors. Or perhaps you are from the Gothic theme, Gothic scene. What is the word? You know what I mean. Perhaps you are wearing black clothes all the day. So that shouldn't sound bad against those people. Of course not. You know what I mean. Perhaps you have only black clothes in your Schrank. You know. And you think, I hate colors. Yeah, then please do this whole shit in black and you have made something. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to make jokes about you if you are belonging to this group of people who are saying that. I don't want to make jokes, but I want to break the things that you are that are going up in your brain a little bit, because I think there's much that can influence you from the outside. There are so many things shown on Pinterest, on Instagram, even here on YouTube. Especially on YouTube, when you see all the journal creations that the other people make, it can be totally overwhelming, and it can make that you can't start. And that's a really extreme thing for me. I want to share my passion with you so that you are encouraged to do something, to be creative, to have time with yourself. So that's the reason why I'm sitting here and why I'm talking to myself and recording it. So, do you know what I mean? I have some kind of a mission that I want to bring to the world. And that's a really big point for me, that I want to bring you to this starting point, just doing something. And this feeling of being creative is not before you start, but sometimes it's even when you have finished something, so that you think, okay, now I have this finished project, I have perhaps a colored page that I have colored by myself, and then you think, okay, I have this and I have been creative. You perhaps can't feel it in the second when you do it, but afterwards you can also feel this feeling. And yeah, that's the reason why you have to do it and why you have to start. Yeah. Hopefully that was not too strange. Hopefully you got what I wanted to say. Yeah, we will see. Please leave a comment if you, yeah. I know you got it. You are so sweet people, and I know you got it, even if I sometimes am struggling with my words. So here, that's also a thing. That's also such a thing. First of all, I thought I can't put these silvery elements here to this thing, because we have no silver in this journal, or even here on the outside, nowhere is silver. And then I thought, okay, why not? Why not? So I thought about these seashells and that stuff, and these little things from the beach, and I thought, okay, shall I put some gilding wax on top of them and make them golden? And then I thought, no, I will put them here like they are, because this is the contrast that makes this journal special. I mean, that makes this, these lacy things here special. And that was the reason why I left these silver. And that's also a thing that I want to encourage you to. So if you have these things and you have the feeling that this has to be like it is, then please just do it. There's nobody in this whole world who can tell you that this is wrong. I mean, if she will receive the journal and she doesn't like it, she doesn't like these silvery things, of course, then I have a problem. But she can also remove them. She can also use some gilding wax by herself and make them golden. That would no problem. They are hanging here, yeah, and you can also put that here later. And yeah, why not doing it? There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. Yeah, so I know that was a really detailed and really long thing today. Thank you to everyone who is still here with me. I really appreciate that, and I always have the feeling that you are here with me while I flip through this journal, and that means a lot to me. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you could get some inspiration for your own journals. I hope you will join me the next time. I can tell you there will be another journal in this color combination. So if you like that, I made another one. I couldn't stop. So you will see that in a few days, how that looks. It's totally different than this, even if there are some things that are similar to this. So if you are interested, stay tuned and yeah, wait until that video comes up. See you the next time. So I wish you a very, very creative time. Stay healthy. Bye bye.